Some authors think that publishing a book is the end of their journey, but it's just the beginning. There's so much involved in getting exposure for your book. Marketing, PR, building your email list, managing your social media, and engaging your readers. It can all be a bit overwhelming doing it alone. But you're not alone, because my team and I got you. We tailor our services to your specific needs to help you build a brand that you love and get your message to the masses. The Ashley M. King Agency. We do more than publishing. We go beyond the book to build your brand. Hello, y'all, and welcome to the Content to Course webinar. I'm your host, Ashley M. King. I am a self-publishing strategist that helps people of faith tell their story with impact and leverage their message to create brands and just not books, right? So as I prepare to share my screen, I want you to put your name and the name of your book in the chat. Your name and the name of your book in the chat. Yes. So let's do that. All right. So everyone can see my screen. Yes. Type in yes. You should see the Content to Course boot camp. Great. All right, so we're going to talk about how to leverage your book to become the go-to within your industry and a household name with your audience through creating a course. So guys, I do have a disclaimer, right? At the end of this webinar, I will present you an offer to go deeper, but it's only for those that choose to. All right. So the purpose of this webinar, however, is for you to leave with actionable steps, things that you can execute. So, because I know I get tired of running webinars and it's like, okay, did you just get me on here just to sell to me, right? So this webinar is to provide you with stuff you can actually do to launch your course. And for those that are like, I want more assistance, I want to work with you, I am going to present an offer, right? So there's no surprises at the end. All right, so I do want to know what brought you here today. Did you by chance see an ad? Did you get an email from me? You just somehow came across it out of the blue. What brought you here today? Just put that in the chat. All right, yeah, so there are many reasons that you all came here today. You know, maybe some of you at a certain point emotionally where you want to help as many people as you can, but you don't want to sacrifice more time away from your family and doing the things that give you peace. Guys, I'm an author of 6 books and I've been vending for quite some time now. The time it takes to load up your books, put them in your car, drive to the venue, set up your table, engage, interact, make some sales, pack everything back up, drive back home, unload it, whether it's in your garage, you have a set room, that's a lot of time. And generally vending events are on the weekends, right? Because that's when a lot of people are out. So that's time away for your family. And you can do a vending event, and things. I do believe it's great to be, one-on-one in front of people so they get to know you, you, the author, the brand. But a lot of times you can do everything right and just don't make your money back. And a lot of times I don't say a lot of times, sometimes it can be you and not the venue. Maybe they didn't properly promote. Maybe there was an issue. And I can give a prime example of this. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. And there was a vending event that I signed up for, spent hundreds. I want to say, I think it was like an $800 investment to them. It was at a large venue, like a concert venue. I really don't know the number, but I'm going to say like 30,000. Just imagine one of your large concert venues in your city. And the way they had it set up, it was kind of like a flow where the attendees would come in one way and they, the vendors are kind of towards the end. So it had like a little flow system. However, since it was at a concert venue, the flow that they had was right before you come outside, to see the to engage with the vendors, there was a sign that said exit, no re-entry. So a lot of people, when they were coming that way, they would turn around and go back in. No one came out to shop with the vendors because they assumed if they came out, they wouldn't be allowed to go back in to the the area where the activities were having or hosting. And so a lot of vendors were highly upset about that. Nothing that the vendors did. It was something, simple as, and what they ended up doing was covering up the sign, but it was about, an hour or two before the end of the event. So that was a lot of sales that was missed out on. That was a lot of product that I had to unload, hours of me setting up, then turn around and break down to really go home with no sales, right? So you've invested a lot at this point, right? And you don't want to sacrifice any more of your time. You may want to make a greater impact, but you're not quite sure. Or you just may be looking for a proven strategy, step-by-step formula to help you from A to Z with creating your first course, right? So you're in the right place if you want to reach more people with your message, but you're not quite sure. The idea of creating a course has been taunting you, and now it has become an emotional burden. So it's just easier to do it than not to do it. Like, I don't know how many of you, I'm a person of faith. I'm a Christian. And so I don't know how many of you, if God has told you to do something, you're like, all right, I'm gonna do it. And you don't kind of do it right away or within a time frame, and months pass, and pretty much every other week you're getting a reminder, and it gets to be such an emotional toil or burden that you're like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Maybe you're that person at that point now that you know that you need to create a course because it is an emotional burden on you, and that you are destined to do this, but you've just been putting it off. You're in the right place if you're ready to take your audience on a transformational journey, right? That they'll never forget and be so grateful for you and your course, right? A transformational journey, guys, that you are taking them where they are at, to where they want to go, to where they're destined to be, to their place of healing, to their place of prosperity. You are ready to take your audience on a transformational journey. And once again, you're looking for a strategy. Briefly, who am I? Like I said, I am Ashley M. King, the Get It Done Queen. I am the founder of Get It Done Publishing and Ashley M. King Agency. Self-published 6 books. I've been doing it since 2018. I've helped over 250 people create books. I have a master's in creative writing with a concentration in publishing. And one of the books that I have been blessed to be a part of editing received a starred review in Publishers Weekly, which I think is great. Kudos. That's something to toot my horn over. And then these are just all the organizations or publications that I've been a part of. All right, so we're going to get into the meat of this webinar, and this is just the flow for today, so you know what to expect. We're going to go over the overview of courses and the industry trends. We're going to talk about the steps to leverage your book to create a course to help more people. Like, that is where you want to make sure you have your pen and paper, right? So if by chance you don't already have that out, I want to say shame on you. No, but go ahead and use this time to get your pen and paper, or, split screen your computer so you can take notes. And then I have some questions that I'm going to answer, right? So the first one, the overview and industry standards, right? So online courses, or what we call in the e-learning sector, right? It's an opportunity to teach others the knowledge that you know through the use of electronic applications, pretty much the internet. And guys, thanks to the pandemic, the industry is exploding, guys. And more people are turning to online learning to get help and the resources that they need. If you see at the bottom, IBM saved approximately $200 million after switching to e-learning. And the worldwide e-learning market is projected to be worth $325 billion. Billion with a B, not an M, $1 billion in 2025, right? So it has exponential growth. And you may be thinking, Ashley, my book isn't for the corporate organization. That's fine. But guess what, guys? I don't know how many of you have kids, but even school is going to online learning, right? Parents are, having to learn to do things online with their kids. People are, the small business industry or people starting a business is growing, and they're looking for information to learn how to be a better business owner in whatever industry that they are, looking for. Right? There is a wealth of people out there that is looking for information. Currently, a lot of people are at home. It is just a great opportunity now, right? With the online industry, with e-learning, so many people are looking for information, and you can be their resource. You can be the person that helps them. All right. So we're going to talk about how to create a greater impact with your audience through an online course. Just like a GPS, guys, I'm pretty sure we all have them. If it's not in our cars, pretty much on our phones, right? Your course should provide your audience step-by-step instructions on how to go from point A to Z. And A to Z is going to be different for a lot of you, right? Because all of us have different books and, different topics, as we mentioned before, right? So it could be from how your audience can go from hurt to heal. Maybe you wrote about divorce or, relationships, and you were hurt. So now you're going to take them from that transition, from starting at, this street, make a left, make a right, go down 5 lights, then make another left, go down 2 blocks, and then you're at healed street, right? So you're going to provide them step by step how to go from hurt to heal. And if your book is about business, maybe going from broke to making 6 figures, you're going to provide them the resource on how to go from starting point A of broke to Z, how to make 6 figures. And you want to think about the steps that you've gone through. Take the time out now if you need to. How did that look for you? And how much time did it take you to make that transformation, right? So for that person who went through a divorce, a bad relationship, from the time you were divorced to the time, you had your aha moment to like, I am healed, I am letting this go, I am forgiving that person, I am forgiving myself. How long was that? And what did that look like for you? Right? I want you to write it down, think about it. Like, when you teach your audience how to leverage that content and the resources that you offer in your course, their life will change and get better results, right? So if you went through from time you were divorced to your healing in 18 months, right? Because you didn't have a blueprint at first, you were struggling to figure it out, but now you know what it takes, right? So you're able to help people a lot. You're better, right? It's not going to take them 18 months. It's going to take them 8 months. It's going to take them 4 weeks. However, that process from going to A to Z, you're going to write it down and you're going to create that GPS, that mapping system from A to Z, right? And when I'm going to turn on my camera because I want you guys to see me. So in turn, right, they're going to love your solution. They're going to share the news with other people, and they're going to continue to work with you, right? The best client, as they say, is the one who gives you repeat business, right? So they've purchased your book. Now they're in your course, right? And they're going to be like, what else do you have to offer, right? You have really helped me. You have created a transformation in my life. And they're just going to love what you offer because you really have impacted them, right? So I want to show you the course that I launched, right? And I want you to pay attention to the dates here: September 23rd, 2020, November 26th, 2021. When I started this back in 2020, I launched this course to an audience of 0. I knew what I was doing. Like, I had invested in some things, some information, and I just figured I can do it on my own. I didn't take any, information on necessarily how to promote a course, set it up. You kind of just know some things, right? I can figure it out, put it together, and make it happen and package it, right? When I launched this, no one bought it, right? I did maybe about 3 posts on my social media, and it was around, I think around my birthdays when I did it, because I was like, oh, it's my birthday, people are gonna congratulate me, and I'm gonna like let them know I have a course out, and still crickets. I launched to crickets. But now, as you see here, November 26, 2021, I'm going with this number. I have over 250 people in my course. I had to learn some things. I want to say I had to learn some things. Sometimes we think we know, and you could try it on your own and see, maybe when I initially launched and it would have took off, it would have been great, right? I perhaps wouldn't be doing this webinar. I was like, you know what? I'm out here doing the doggone thing, making my money. I'm good. But then I saw how I struggled. And I was like, you know what? I want to help other people. Once I figured it out, right? I want to help other authors do this, because once I learned how to properly package, present my course, and the enrollment started coming in, I was like, guys, this is amazing. I am helping so many people fulfill their dreams of becoming a published author. There are other authors out there that want to help their audience fulfill their dreams of becoming healed. If that is you, right, I just want you to say yes in the chat that you really want to be impactful in your industry. You really want to help, your audience become that 6-figure earner. You really want to help your audience become better parents. Whatever it is that you want to help them, type yes, like you want to help them become better. Yes. So without my failure, I perhaps wouldn't be here. Having the desire to help other authors, leverage the message to create a greater impact. So, went back. I'm going to talk about the 4 steps that I went through to learn how to launch my course, right? So I can have a greater impact and reach more people. The first step is validation, right? Before you launch a course, you want to make sure that there is a need for it. One of the benefits of being an author that has book sales or testimonials is that you have the validation that your knowledge and expertise is needed, right? People have watched your book. They're saying it's amazing. You have sales, you have, maybe 4.5-star review, 5-star review, whatever it is, right? You have that validation that, the course is needed. People are loving it and, they're wanting more. But maybe you're just one of those authors that you're still in the writing process. You have an idea, there's ways you can validate your book, but being a already published author, self-published author, that helps within the validation process. That great. If stuff is structurally properly structured, then the validation process is going to be much easier for those that have like a website, email list. But if you don't, there's still ways to validate your course, right? Next is to structure your course, right? You want to create structure to your course, map out the transformation that you want your audience to experience. Like we said, from A to Z, the GPS, right? Think about how you want to engage with your audience. Think about how you want them to feel when they are a part of your course, right? If it's from hurt to healed, you want to create a course where people feel like they can be transparent, that the information that they share is going to be trusted. No one's going to like screenshot their information and post on social media or anything of that nature. You want to create a warm, welcoming environment. And if you're someone that's doing that broke to 6 figures, then maybe, you want to create an environment that's energized, right? Because people need that motivation. People need that drive to get up and go out here to, execute their goals. So think about the environment that you want to create for your audience in your course, right? Think about that and write it down. As well as the environment, think about the features that you want to have. Do you want to have quizzes? Maybe, Maybe they're, what your audience needs. You want to test them on what they've learned, excuse me. Maybe you want to have chat, engagements. Maybe you want to give them certificates at the end of each module. Just think about that. And then step 3 is to pre-sell your course. I don't know how many of you have heard of the concept of pre-selling, right? Book pre-order, pre-sales. We should have, especially authors without books, right? Same concept. You want to pre-sell your course. After you receive validation, you want to pre-sell so you don't be like me and launch to an audience of none, 0 people. So I know it may sound strange to some, but pre-selling your course ensures that you don't waste your time, your energy, and money creating a course that no one will purchase. But you're like, Ashley, I thought we did that in the validation process. Granted, you did validate your course, right? But what if it's not necessarily the course, like the actual content, but it's the pricing, right? Maybe someone seeing your course at $250, they're thinking, oh my gosh, that is so cheap. Maybe what are they offering? It's not good. Maybe they may see $250 and think, why is that so high? Usually when the price is off, it's the value. People are not seeing value within whatever the price may be. And I'm gonna tell you, what people value, that's what they're gonna spend their money on. I remember the time when, I guess Beyonce and Jay-Z were on tour and there were like tickets like 30, 40,000. It was very expensive. People were putting on their credit card, not really having the money, but they had a credit card, maxing out cards just to get tickets. They valued that. They wanted to see the tour. They felt that the $30,000 was worth maxing out credit cards. They saw, figuring out getting VIP for $30,000 was worth the amount of purchase of a brand new car. People need to see value in what you are offering, right? So once again, maybe it's not the content, but the price. Or maybe it's the actual content, the verbiage that's on the landing page that's throwing people off. So when you're promoting it, you may be saying one thing, but when they get to the landing page, the message it's not connecting. There's a disconnect somewhere there. So there's different things that, we can work on and figure out, because you have the validation there, but for some reason from validation to pre-sales, people aren't buying. So we'll work on figuring that out, right? And then the transformation, the last step. Once someone signs up for your course, you need to walk them through the process so they receive the transformation that you offered. You don't want anyone to sign up for your course and feel like they're not getting their money's worth. Horrible. Because guess what? They're going to be upset, spread the bad news, and bad news spread. So I'm just going to go down and break this down a little bit each section. So validation, ways to validate your idea. Ask your email list. As an author, you should have a website or at least some way that you are collecting email lists, right? I think it was like maybe last month. I'm not even quite sure, but recently we want to say Facebook went down for I think 6 hours. That was tragic for some people, right? That had no way of connecting with the audience. They didn't build an email list. So hopefully as an author, you have already built an email list. If not, that is something you need to add to your to-do list and perhaps do it ASAP, right? Poll your social media audience, whether you're on Instagram, Facebook, maybe Snapchat, whatever your LinkedIn, whatever your social media audience, poll them. DM people. I've actually DM authors, like I would on social media. You would find the hashtag authors or whatever your keyword is. DM people, engage, and there's a certain way you do it. You really want to engage, get to know the person, let them know kind of let them know what you're doing, but you don't do it right away because you don't seem salesy. You kind of get to know them, right? So that does take a little bit of time. You're gonna network on LinkedIn, all right, and then engage and ask in social groups. So if you are on, Facebook, they have different groups. Be mindful though of certain policies. So depending on your group policy, you may or may not be able to, ask certain questions or however you may phrase it, right? So those are some things that you can do to validate your idea. All right, to structure your course, I think you should always start off with a welcome. You want to welcome them, thank them, and let them know what they are to expect in your course, even how to navigate your course if needed. I believe you should also start off with some mindset things. So going back to the example of divorce, let them know that, hey, it's perhaps going to get uncomfortable, but in order to be healed, we have to face, our demons, those things of the past. But through the process, we're going to go from hurt to heal. You want to talk about the mindset. And for that broke to 6 figures, you want to let them know, hey, things are going to be uncomfortable. You're going to have to step out your comfort zone. Some days you wake up, you're not going to feel like going live. You're not going to feel like asking for the sale. You're not going to feel like doing X, Y, and Z. There are going to be so many excuses, but you have to show up. So I do believe that, besides the welcome, we should start off with some mindset things. And some other things you should have in your course is, a flow that's maybe dependent on order. So if there's a set order of how things need to be done in order to have that transformational process, then that's the flow of your course. Maybe your course is not dependent on order. Maybe it's tips. The thing I think about this, because I have some friends that, sing, maybe, if we're talking about, I guess these are your notes or your vocal cords, all that. Maybe you're gonna give like 7 things you shouldn't do before singing. And I think one of them is like drinking cold water, right? I think it messes up your chorus. And then maybe 5 things you should do right after you finish singing to ensure, the healthiness of your chords. So maybe the information you're giving doesn't need to be in chronological order, but it's definitely something there to help them, right? Because it's still all pertaining to that topic. And you want to definitely offer the type of content that would benefit your audience the best. So if your book is about, HR practices or interview practices, maybe a video would be good to show them the type of attire that they should and should not wear. If you're uncomfortable being on videos, maybe you want to do like PDFs or slides of things you should not wear versus things you should wear. If your course is about the vocal cords, then maybe video and audio. Maybe you do a video of you singing, video of the notes and the audio of them being able to hear a pitch and sing along with it. It could just vary. So you want to think about the type of things, how you're going to structure your course, right? All right, and if it's good, type good, right? I want to make sure y'all are still here. Put good. All right, so hope you're taking notes because these are things that you can actually do, right? Actionably. Actually do, right? All right, so third step is to pre-sell your course, right? So this is where you get people to sign up before launching your course. So if by chance you have the date of April 1st in mind that you want to launch your course, right? It's March 1st. You want to get people to start signing up before April 1st, right? Get people to buy, pre-order your course, you're pre-selling just like you can pre-sell your book, pre-sell your course. So that when April 1st comes, you have people who are ready, right? Ready to take action, ready for that transformational process that you're about to offer them, right? Or that you're about to take them through, I should say. All right. So this is where you reach back to the people who validated your idea, people who engage with you in the polls on your social media, people who engage with you in your groups or responded to your LinkedIn post. So those people who were engaging that you DM, continue to, because when you launch your course or when you're in the process of pre-selling, hey, I know we talked about X, Y, and Z. I want to know if you're interested in starting, in joining my course on this day. It is a 30-day boot camp in which we'll do X, Y, and Z, If not, do you know anyone that may be interested? So you want to reach back out to those people, reach back out to your email list, and even advertising and marketing. And if you're not aware, advertising and marketing are 2 different things, kind of similar, but advertising is just mass marketing all over the place. But marketing, I guess, mass promotion, and then marketing is more specific to a target audience, right? So maybe your book is more specific to divorced women, right? That's so you want to narrow that down in your marketing. So that, and if you are doing Facebook ads, you know, and if you haven't really like understand what the pixels are, creating tags and, you know, connecting your pixels to your website so you can track and then do retargeting ads. I'm not going to discourage you, but definitely get the help. Like I've invested, I think 3,200 in Facebook ad course. And once I understood that, and I probably had to reach out to get clarification on Pixel, but once my Pixel got situated, I think I started making sales that night, right? So I'm investing in things that's going to help me better my business and better myself. So be mindful if you decide to do Facebook ads that you're not wasting your dollars and everything is properly set up. And then the last of the 4 step is transformation. All right, so now that your course is live and you have signups because you did not launch to an audience of none, all right, you want to make sure that you deliver. And this is where you go back to your structure. What is the A through Z? How are you helping them throughout this process so they can get from being hurt to healed, from broke to 6 figures, right? And I'll over deliver if you have to, especially in your first course, right? You want the buzz to be out there that, oh my gosh, you know, Sarah's amazing, Ashley's amazing, you know, she really helped me. You want to get those testimonials because as they start to come in, people are going to refer them to you and you're going to have that snowball effect, that momentum, and your course and, you know, program is going to grow. And I'm going to be honest, right? The transformation that you are expecting from your audience, it may not happen for everyone. Just be real. But there should be some kind of impact, you know, maybe an aha moment or whatever. But just be honest, because I'm gonna let you know I have. How many of us have bought a course, a product, even a book? Because you go around the corner here, I got a bookshelf of plenty. I want to say at least 70 books that I have and have not read. We buy stuff and we don't always implement. There are going to be some people who get in your program and they start off with the greatest of intentions, right? They're excited, they're ready, life happens and they fall off, or they don't do everything that's needed in order for them to experience that transformation that you want them to. That's just the reality of life, right? So just a heads up on that. And you may be thinking this is a lot, but let me say this. If you want to impress someone, make it complicated, right? Because they're going to be impressed by all these gadgets, all what you got going on. Like they don't know what's going on. They're just impressed. Ooh, right? But if you want to help someone, you make it simple, right? How many of y'all bought something? It was just so hard. Like you were just amazed with everything, but it was just so hard to make it work, right? It's just overwhelming that you just get discouraged. But stuff that is simple, I'm able to implement it right away. The videos you're making me watch in like 5 minutes, right? The PDFs are, you know, our checklist, easy to do. If you want to help someone, make it simple. Your course doesn't have to be all the hoops, things for them to jump through, 2-hour-long videos. You want to make sure they are getting the information that's going to help them, whether that's 5 minutes or 50 minutes. But make sure you don't want a course that's, oh my God, I have 20 hours of video. I mean, that could be, depending, you know, 20 hours of video in a week-long course, that can be a lot to consume. Maybe your course is over 4 months. I mean, the structure is going to be different for everyone. So you want to make sure that you keep your course simple. And I'm going to show you behind the scenes because I'm one of those people. Hopefully I don't lose my spot. There we go. I'm going to practice what I preach. And this is a screenshot of behind the scenes of my Get It Done bootcamp. So, or boot camp, as you see, I mean, my audience wouldn't see this here, but I start off with a welcome. I let them know what to expect from the boot camp. And then writing week 1, I'll talk about mindset, passion, and consistency, right? You're passionate about your message, which is great, but you need to be consistent. You need to show up every day to write, at least 15 minutes a day for 5 days. That is what I'm asking of them. And then some simple steps here is not a lot. Now I do have some longer videos where I'm showing them how to format a book, how to design their book cover. That's a little more technical. But there are some videos in there that's 5 minutes long. It's not a lot to consume. You just want to make sure they have the information. And there's some of these lessons within the modules that are just PDFs. So it can vary. I just want to say this, that success is possible for you. Being the go-to person in your industry is possible for you. Creating a profitable course while creating a transformational experience is possible for you. If you believe that, say it's possible for me. I want you to type that in the chat. It is possible for me, right? And I'm gonna let you know that I dealt and I even deal with it time to time, especially when I'm starting something new. You know, insecurities, wondering if I'm good enough, but it is possible, right? It can be scary taking that first step out there. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know if someone's going to buy my course. I'm afraid to reach out to a stranger. That's why you need to be in an environment, right? That's why I talk about environment in your courses, because you're going to have some people within your environment that's going to be, within your course is going to feel like this, but you want to create an environment that's going to encourage them to step outside their comfort zone. That's going to encourage them to face that hurt, to face their fears so they can, be healed and be whole, right? This is possible for you. So I'm gonna let you know now, we're in the process of where I have an offer for those who want to go deeper. For those who are like, you know what, Ashley, I know it is time for me to create a course. I'm not quite sure how. I need that help. I want that help. This is the solution. And like I said before, this may not be for everyone. So what I have to offer to those that are ready is the Content to Course Bootcamp. It is a 30-day bootcamp that you're going to work with me. We're going to be in a private Facebook group in which, all your questions are going to be answered. We are going to have weekly live Q&A so you can get your answers in real time. We're going to see each other on Zoom. And then, outside of that, the weekly live Q&A, you put in Facebook, could be a video, and I'll respond back of your questions and how I can help you overcome whatever challenge that you are experiencing, right? And this is just some of the things that we're going to go over in the 30-day bootcamp. Learn how to choose the right topic. So one of the things, content to course, right? That could be the content within the boot camp can be great, but maybe the content to course, like the topic, the title, can be throwing people off. Maybe it should be books to billions, something like that, or simply how to turn your book into a course. It can just be little tweaks like that can help make a difference in people signing your enrollment into your course. So, and help you get the validation that you need to create your course. We're going to talk about how to make your course evergreen so that you can be profitable and help more people without spending more of your time, right? And I know you may be thinking like, how is that possible, right? I'm helping more people without spending more time. Matter of fact, you can do less time. Less time to showing up, to these vending events, your book signings. You can still continue to do that if you like. You can help more people, but I want to show you how to make your courses evergreen, right? So it's on repeat. You keep doing it, right? It's on a cycle. And then show you how to get the blueprint on knowing what your audience wants, so you can create the transformation impact that you are looking for, right? People tell you what they want. You just got to learn how to listen, how to look for it, how to see it. So I'm going to show you how to get the blueprint on knowing what your audience wants to create the transformational impact and feel confident in charging your worth. Guys, I struggled with the price of this course. I'm just going to be transparent. But when I realized the impact that I'm going to be having with my students, with my authors, right? And how I'm going to show them to leverage the message, right? So that it can be a household name with their audience, right? I'm not saying that you're going to be Oprah. I want you to be a household name once again, my faith. I believe, once people are drawn to people, right? And as a person of faith, people are going to see the light in you. So people are drawn to you, you draw them to Christ, right? So I believe in you being that household name so that you can in turn uplift them and draw them to Christ, or draw them, to being healed. So, if you help them make that 6 figures, they can be a better tithe payer. If you help them to be healed, they won't go out here and be bitter and broken and scarred. So I want to help you be that go-to person in your industry, right? Because you draw men unto Christ, right? So help you be that, oh my gosh, when they think about, their best friend is going through divorce and how you've helped them, or just even they continuously see your name when it comes to people being healed from divorce, they're going to refer their best friend to you. And within your course, where you pray for them, guide them, whatever it is, you want to be that household name that your audience think of. And so, like I said, I struggled with the price of my course, but then I realized the transformation I want to help them, you guys receive. I'm like, you know what? It is a no-brainer. I want to get to the price, but I have some questions, right? So I'm going to answer the questions that I have here. If by chance I don't get to your question live, then just look for it in the chat. We'll get the information. I'll be able to respond to you, right? So you may be thinking, hey, Ashley, why a course? Why not just YouTube videos, right? I'm not discouraging you from posting on YouTube. You can post on YouTube and encourage them to go to your course, right? But learning platforms are structured for the best type of learning, right? So YouTube video, you can provide all the information that they're needed, right? They'll go and consume on YouTube. But a course on the platform that you choose, you could do Q&A, polls, surveys. You have their contact information for one, because you should be building your database, right? As an author, you want people to know about your new upcoming release. You want people to know about where your book signing is. You want people to know about your course. So whatever you're doing, when you're able to collect this information, this database from people, it is going to be so much easier to reach out to let them know. When you have a course, depending on your platforms, you're able to offer certificates. You're able to go, live and offer badges and all this different type of stuff. So a course is definitely more engaging. Yes, on YouTube, they can make a comment, you reply. There's so much more that you can do when you have a course on a specific platform, right? Yes. Can I create a course even when I don't have a large following? Yes, you can, boo-boo. You don't need a large course to create, a large following to create a profitable course. Through your validation process, that is where we're going to find those who are interested in your course, so you don't launch to no one, so you don't experience those crickets like I did. So you don't need a large following, you just need to do the work. If you have a large following, it may be easier, because some people think just because they have a large following that, people are just going to flock to them. Maybe they built up an audience, they've been engaging. So, when they say they're going to launch something, their audience is going to support them. So it just depends on how engaging you already are with your audience. When I launched my course, I believe I was under 1,000 people when I started getting these sales. So under 1,000, right? Under 1,000 followers. So depending, you've gotten this far in the webinar, this course may not be for you if you still don't have an idea on what to create your course on. Maybe you have a fictional book, and if you are a fictional author, this course could possibly be for you if you have an idea. So say if you wrote a romance novel and you feel confident, like you can help people become hurt from their bad relationships, or how to become emotionally mature in relations, or how to date without, 7 ways to date without losing your mind, or how to find the right spouse, those type of things. And even though it's a fictional book, that still ties into, you know, the romance sector, the relationship sector. So you can create a course off of that. But if you have a fictional book and you're like, I still don't know, then this course isn't for you. I mean, maybe we could have a section, you know, a one-on-one conversation, and I can assist you with that. But if you don't have an idea, then this course isn't for you. Next, if you're not willing to step outside of your comfort zone and do the work, like I said before, there are some people who want to sign up for your course. Life happens; they may not be, be able to complete it. But if you sign up, I want you, knowing your mind, you have to be willing to do the work, to step outside of your comfort zone. Some of the things you may be uncomfortable with, but guess what? It needs to get done. Just that simple. Get it done. And lastly, if your main objective is to make money and not create a transformational experience for your audience, I believe if you create the transformation for your audience, the money is going to fly to you. When people see that you're able to help them with their problem, the floodgates are just going to open, because you are the go-to. You are the resource. You are what they need to live a better life. And it's the Jesus in you, right? Your skills, the talent, what God has put in you, you're able to help other people, right? And so they're going to flock to you, and you're going to give them the word. You're going to give them what they need to have this transformational process. So if you just like you all about the dollars, this ain't for you. I'm looking for those who really want to make a transformational impact with their audience. Right. And I know the next question is what y'all been looking for and wanting to know. The investment for this course, right? This 30-day boot camp to really make this transformation happen for your audience is just $997. $997, right? Remember thinking, oh my, I'm curious, when y'all heard that price or saw the price, whichever one y'all saw first, whatever, how many of y'all jumped? It made you feel uncomfortable. Just type me. But you realize, like, I don't know the type of courses that you are going to offer. There's just 10 people at $100. You've already made your money back. And $100 is on the low end, especially if you are making a transformational experience for people. You are helping them. 4 people at $250. But besides the money, I want people who are willing to invest in themselves. Like, that you have a message inside of you. Like, besides the money, move the money aside. You have the message inside of you, and you want to help more people. You continue to go to vending events, one-on-one opportunities. But when you create a course, you're able to scale, grow. You're able to do more. You're able to help more people with either doing the same amount of energy or even less. Once you create a course, I have a question. Just think about this. Those 250 people, did you think I met all of them? No. Perhaps I've met none of them. I know one of them for sure. I have met one of them for sure. But other than that, 249, do you think I've met those 249 people? No. But I have helped 249 people that I haven't known, perhaps never would have met in person, but they were able to sign up for my course and receive the help needed in order to launch, to create their books, right? So when you create a course, you're able to leverage your message to help more people. And you want to be the go-to person in your industry. You want people to think about you as that, for legal assistance, for whatever you do within your industry. Right. I'm going to drop. Do I have it here? I thought I had left it here, but I'm going to put the link in the chat for those that are ready to go to the next level, to dive deeper and to do this. So depending on when you're watching this webinar, I'm doing it maybe 6 times a year. And so I'll drop the date in there too, once again, depending on when you're watching this webinar. If you go to the link, the date will be on there when we are launching these courses. And I'm gonna let y'all know something. My price yesterday isn't my price today. This price can change, so I can only guarantee this at the time of this webinar. So my price yesterday may not be my price today. Amen. Amen. So if you have any questions, just type in them. We're gonna respond back in the chat. But I'm gonna let you know here, you have 2 options. You can perhaps ignore this and keep doing what you're doing, right? You continue thinking about all the potential people that you can help as an author, and you can possibly implement your course without me. I mean, I'm gonna say I thought I didn't need any help. Maybe I hope, you could be better. I hate to say better than me, but maybe you don't need help to launch your course. Or you can make a small investment into your future, and you can learn step by step how to create a course that will help you be the go-to within your industry and a household name within your audience, right? Oh, here goes the link for it. Had it on the wrong tab, right? So I'm going to drop this link. You will receive a follow-up email from this webinar regarding that. And yeah, so have any questions? I will, in the follow-up email, you'll receive the link, as well as if you need to have any, questions, something wasn't answered in this webinar, you can schedule a time for me to call you, whatever time is convenient. But I just want to thank y'all so much for tuning in, right? Thank y'all so much. I hope, you should have walked away with some actionable things that you can implement. But for those that are like wanting the help, ready to take that step, click on the link and go ahead and sign up for the Content to Course Bootcamp. And I am going to be super excited to work with you to help you get your message out to the masses, right? All right. So thank y'all once again for tuning in. You have a blessed day. I don't know why, I just love, for some reason, I like to sing, but I'm not too fond of musicals. But all right, y'all take care. We're going to end this here, and I shall see some of y'all in the Content to Course Bootcamp.